Hello and welcome back to Football Manager. We have made it to the European Football Championships Group C. First match against Portugal. The pre-competition friendlies went fairly well, in that I won one and drew the other one. My phone needs to stop beeping, otherwise I'm going to turn it off. Apologies for that. We got to the first game of the competition. As I mentioned in the last video, I believe, where we played Southampton, we'll be doing each game in a separate video. So it'll be Tuesday Portugal, Wednesday Denmark, Thursday Poland, and if we get past Poland, then it'll be Friday next round, and then so on and so forth. I'm not sure actually how many rounds there are in this competition, which is annoying. Right, schedule. How many rounds are there? Got second round, quarter-final, semi-final, final. So there's 4 rounds post-group, which means there'd be 7 matches possible. So that's a week. Okay? Admittedly, I'm not uploading videos on Saturday and Sunday for logistical reasons, but yeah, a week. Not bad. This is the formation and the team I'm going with for the first of our Wales games. I think it's a fairly good team, I have to admit. It's, could be better obviously in some areas. Other areas it's fairly strong. Like for instance, right wing, very strong. But defensive midfield, best we've got. Centre midfield, best we've got, sort of thing. But we go into this Portugal game half expecting defeat, I have to admit. We're not going to do well against Portugal, I can guarantee that as a fact. And I think with Denmark and Poland, they're the 2 teams that we're going to have to challenge the hardest against to actually get out of this group stage. Because if we can't get a result against either of those 2 teams, we're not getting out of the group stages. Anyway, Portugal get the kick-off. Also, another thing, I'm probably not going to say many names during this competition of players unless I can guarantee that I know what those names are. Like, for instance, the player that showed a shot there is Gonçalo Guedes. I only know that because I remember hearing his name being said by a commentator when he was playing for, I think, Benfica, and it was Benfica versus possibly Liverpool or Man United or someone in the Champions League. I remember his name coming up. Only reason I know his name, how to pronounce like that, because of that. Everyone else, I got no chance. Especially Danish names. No chance. I can get Knudsen for Jonas Knudsen because he played for Ipswich Town. Maybe Andre Christensen, I know him because of Chelsea. Other than that, nothing really. Same with Poland. I'm only able to get Bartosz Białkowski because he played for Ipswich Town. Simple as that, really. Portugal again with the ball in their highlights. Appears they're attacking, although could be passing the ball around. Guedes picks the ball up on the left wing for them. It's cleared very well by Ampadu, only as far as their midfield. Neves out now finds him, and they try a shot, but it's blocked well by the defenders, who I think possibly was Joe Rodden. Another thing is the Welsh names. I could probably get a fair few of them, like for instance Ethan Ampadu, I know his name and all that sort of thing, but when it gets to the more Celtic, that's the one, the more Celtic Welsh names, I've got no chance. King with another save makes, doesn't make anything happen, but it keeps the game at 0-0, which is good for me and Wales as a whole, because a draw in this game is far better to me than a win would be. Because a draw would mean the team gains morale, and a win would just mean the team begins to get complacent in the rest of the competition, which is not going to be helpful. Play that wide to the right wing now. Portugal get the ball into the middle, but Ampadu heads it away, and thankfully their shot goes well wide of the post. Ampadu's header was possibly not in the best position it could have been. Throwing it for Wales though, Davies throws it to Roberts, back to Davies, tries a cross but it's blocked, and it's now picked up by Matt Smith, which isn't the same Matt Smith, mind you, we had at Boston earlier on in the playthrough, this Matt Smith is completely different. Brooks heads it down to Ramsey. Ramsey plays it out wide for Roberts, but Aaron Ramsey, being Aaron Ramsey, messes it up somehow. And Gonzalo Guedes gets the ball into the box and crosses it for, I think that was Ruben Neves, I think. Crossed in from Portugal's free kick and onto the bar and over. And at half time, we go in 0-0. I'm happy with this as a result, because arguably it's the best we could probably hope for. I'm going to make 3 changes. One being Harry Wilson on for Ben Woodburn as a winger support. The other being David Brooks off for... Actually, no, Harry Wilson on for David Brooks. And then have David Brooks come off for Nathan Broadhead as an inverted winger support. And the final change will be our striker, Tyler Roberts, for Daniel James, who arguably is not a great option as striker, but he's literally our only other option. Wales is not adept with depth when it comes to strikers, and Gareth Bale is clearly not available, because if he was, he would be my first choice. No question on that about anything. If Gareth Bale was still playing, he would be my first choice striker, hands down. But he retired, I think 2 years ago now. This is 2024 after all. You know, this is 4 years in the future. Lionel Messi isn't playing anymore. Cristiano Ronaldo isn't playing anymore. There's no Gareth Bale. No Toni Kroos. He retired at the end of that last season. Lots and lots of players are going down like flies. And Portugal get right to the edge of our box, and King does make a very simple save, but that probably would have gone in if it was if it was us against someone like England or something. You know, a simple save probably would have been not on the cards. But yeah, 0-0 is completely fine by me for a final result to this match, because arguably a draw will do more than a win would do, especially for Portuguese confidence, because Portugal could just see a defeat as, you know, sort of, oh, a bit of a fluke, nothing really. What the hell? How was that a red card? I'm sorry, I don't say that was a red card. He barely touched the guy and he went for a red card. I mean, if this was a match in real life, I would be complaining on behalf of the Portuguese management. That's clearly not a red card. I mean, at best, it's a yellow card. I'll say at best, at worst, it's a yellow card. I feel very sorry for the Portuguese there. They've lost a key, well, not a key player, but definitely a player they don't want to be losing in that match. I'm not going to click the inbox screen because there are a couple of important transfers that could appear that I don't want you seeing just yet. So this is the final screen you will see at the moment, because at the moment things are working. We've got a fairly large budget of around £50 million, and suffice to say, it's all going to be spent. No question about it. But as I say every episode, and from now on it will be every day, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.